guys, this is going to be a video about picks. Basically, do picks really matter? And that's something that I think is kind of a interesting topic out there on YouTube. A lot of people that I've seen from videos that I've watched are talking about picks being kind of an inconsequential thing. Like it's just a preference, which it's really not. It's really not a preference, and you shouldn't think of it like that. You should think of it like a tool. If you're trying to, hammer in a nail, you don't take a screwdriver. You get a hammer to use the nail. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. I'm going to start by just giving some demonstrations. There is going to be a couple videos at the end of this. It's going to show each pick with a Fishman pickup and this Oscar Schmidt acoustic here. And it is just a raw track, right in, direct in. There's no post, anything going on. There's a little EQ to cut out the buzz, but that's it. It just cuts out some of the high end, which is buzzy from the hum. But yeah, so let's talk about picks here. Now, the first pick I'm going to show you guys, this is a thin pick. This is an ultra ridiculously thin pick. It's 0.5. It's a pretty thin pick. The thinner the pick, the easier it's going to be to strum, which is good for certain applications. For instance, if you are a singer-songwriter, this is probably the pick you'd like to use. Because if you're strumming, it makes it a lot easier on the wrist. There's a lot less involved as far as control. Although it does have a little bit more of a dynamic window. So the window itself is smaller because dynamically you can't, it's not going to be a huge variation. Sure, you can hit it harder, but it's not going to be like when you use a thick pick. There's a big difference, and I'll show you kind of what I mean here. But if I'm playing just something simple like Collective Soul, something like that. I mean, you can just hear that this is kind of a lush sound. It just manages to be very bright and very lush, glassy. So these picks, I like to use for acoustics. These are perfect for acoustics. They work very well with pretty much any acoustic. I also have another acoustic over here. This one is much brighter than the other one because it's a smaller body. It's a Yamaha. This is just sticky tack. No, it's not jizz. Come on, guys. You can hear the big difference in the sound even if I play the same chord. This one's a little bit more flatter sounding too. It's just not as round or as bright. I do think that it's a difference between the nuts. Yeah, not your nuts, this nut. This nut is like a plastic nut. It's like a cheapie. This one is some sort of custom nut that Oscar Schmidt has developed, and it sounds really good. I don't know what to say. It sounds really good in comparison. But using a thin pick is going to have that kind of sound, and that's the kind of sound you're going for. If you're trying to use something maybe a little thicker, this is my favorite pick. This is a Jazz 3 here. Let me grab a guitar real fast. If I get a bigger pick, and I'll use my line 6 here. I didn't have any of this stuff set up, guys. In just a second. But if I plug into this cheapy little line 6, which, everybody thinks is a piece of crap, which you can't really complain about line 6. I mean, it's cheap amp, yeah, whatever. So, not everybody's got $1 million, guys. Not everybody wants to be collecting amps. So this is kind of like just a dirty tone. Nothing super metal, but turn it up just a little bit here. If I'm trying to do something like that, where it's got a lot more picking going on, a thin pick isn't going to do that. It's just not, it's not going to have that sound of the alternate picking. It's not going to have that kind of definition, and I'm certainly not going to have the control that I need. It's hard to play with this pick. It just is. This pick is way better, and especially if I'm trying something like some ridiculous. Watch me slop this up. Something like sweep picking. It's kind of hard to do with a thin pick. It's pretty easy to do with a thick pick. It's just boom. It's weird. The difference is, but something just I want to talk about and shed some light on, that picks do matter. They matter a lot. The tone is more in the pick than it is in the hand. So you'll see a lot of videos, is the guitar tone in the hands? Well, not really, because if you're using the same pickups, using the same guitar, using the same amplifier, on the same settings, really the difference isn't so much the guitar player, but it's the pick he's using. Because if they use the same pick, you're going to hear almost no difference. If they use a different pick, you're definitely going to hear a difference. And you can hear this difference pretty clearly just in bands alone. Like if you listen to a band like Dave Matthews, you can hear they have those very lush, strummy, beautiful chords, right? But then you listen to something like Dream Theater, everything he plays is with a thick pick. It's all with the Jazz 3 pick, and you can hear it on the acoustic passages. So there are two different techniques. You can interchange them. I would say for the speedy stuff, the thicker the pick, the better. And the smaller the pick, the tighter the technique will be. You'll get better at it. You just got to practice with it. Don't give up because it's difficult. That's the exact opposite of what you should do as a guitar player. As a guitar player, you should actually challenge yourself and push. So in the event that it's difficult, you just practice. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how all of us have done it who've gotten okay over the years. I'm certainly not the best guitar player in the world, but I can carry tune. Just that simple. So bottom line is, if you like rock, indie rock, you know, the acoustic solo stuff, thin picks are probably the best bet for you. So I recommend those to try out for that style of music. Funk's another good one. Would be super useful there. If you like hard rock, blues, or jazz, or of course metal, the thicker the pick, the better. I mean, I used to use that pick right there. That used to be the pick that I used, and I could still do everything that I do with the other pick. The only difference is the other pick, the Jazz 3, has really tightened up my technique. So when I'm trying to go through quick passages, it works a lot better. I'm not plugged in. But yes, guys, so check it out. Links will be in the description, telling you which pick is where. As far as the timeline goes, just so you guys can skip through and just get to the picks that you want to hear, so you can hear the difference between the thin ones, which are traditionally more bright, and the thick ones, which are more warm. Alright guys, if you do like the video, please subscribe, leave a like, and then if you have any questions, leave a comment, man. I'll try to answer it. Thank you.